First.
Good afternoon, Rotarians, guests, and welcome to everybody on Zoom. Welcome to the July 31st meeting of the Rotary Club of Raleigh. I'm thrilled to have everybody here and celebrate the last meeting of the first month of the Rotary year. And fun-filled one having lots of great activities. Before we get started on our business portion of the meeting, Tommy, if you could step away, bring guests, give a prayer invitation and pledge.
Thank you guys very much. We're going to do an invocation, follow our pledge. We've got our heads. Father, thank you for bringing us together in this place with these beautiful people for this hot summer weather and for all of the work that Rotary does, not just locally, but around the world. Thank you that we have a vibrant crowd of folks that are excited to be here today, that we've got a great speaker on hand, that all of us can come together and joke and laugh and be together. And thank you for your presence in this meeting. Amen. Amen. Can you please rise. Oh, beautiful for space, the skies for and
Thanks, everybody. Hey, as we're all getting seated, we have a great group this week, including visiting Rotarian and many guests. So what I want to do, like we did last week, is pass this microphone around and guests and visiting Rotarians, and y'all could stand up when it gets to you and introduce yourself to us. Start with you, John.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am John Liu. I have a special guest here with us today. This is my beautiful 7-year-old daughter, who is actually a future Rotarian. Another guest today is Mr. Doug Baker. Just a little older. Doug Baker, I work with a company called Rollout Software, custom software developer. I have a business development. Then, since I already have the one here, I'm going to pass it over to my other candidate, which is Peter. You're going to say your last one.
Thank you, John. Hello, my second group is Peter. I am a civil Rotarian from London. I've lived in this area for about 21 months now. I'm originally from London, New Jersey. So forgive my accent, Jersey accent, South there. I'm sorry, you know what I do for a living, which I didn't start last week. I'm a business mentor and a CF life coach. So basically, I help to improve people's lives after spending 25 years in the term. I've gone from being a sinner to trying to do the sorry to be interpreted in the room, but you know what that happens. Thank you.
Okay. So, Eric Jones, and I have two awesome guests that are really in line with what we do here at Rotary, so I'll let them introduce themselves.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's Antoine Arnold, Executive Director of the National Nonprofit. I work for you. All that we love kids, check line. School. They're following kids with our mental health, disability, and so forth. So yeah, call center going forward. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Brent. Board member speaking there for the Mark Police with the way. I'm using Swans right in that next. For me, I just want to say it's all about the impacted lives and doing everything. Keeping the community, figure out how we can impact lives more and more every single day. So thanks for having us.
Hello, pleased to have with me today, not just a guest, but a fellow Rotarian, Reginald Stroud. He's a 50-year member of the Kingston Noon Rotary Club as president, and Margaret's father at Rotary.
And most of you know, I love inviting Judy's here, visiting with us today as well.
See, Matt, you're going to be introduced in a little bit. Let's see, up here, Diana. You don't mind standing up, but you may break, but.
Hi, everyone. I'm Diana Daughter, and I am the CEO of Amplify Media and Communications. Brandy has been so generous to welcome me to North Carolina in this group today. I recently moved from Seattle, Washington. My company works with nonprofit institutions, public and private organizations that are addressing the human strategic development goals. So I work with organizations to help them scale their initiatives, either through creating strategic partnerships or creating strategies, marketing and development strategies for them to again scale their work. So, thank you for letting me be here today.
I think that's all the guests. Did I forget anybody? There's a lot of wonderful, we've got good numbers here today, so I want to make sure I don't forget. Thank you all for visiting. Dementia Alliance of North Carolina, red buckets in the middle of the table. Any spare change, dollar bills, please put those in the buckets. That goes to benefit our local Dementia Alliance of NC. Half dollars. I do not see Charlie Upshaw. So Frank McNally, which mentioned $50 to speak. Nobody's happy.
Frank, we got one here.
Here's $10 to celebrate the wonderful first month that Gary, our president, has just finished, and 11 more to go if you want to break started.
Thank you, Tom. I wasn't going to say I would have been yawning, but 11 to go. All right, and don't forget our initiative for this year, our cards of hope. Pick up one of those cards on your table, mail it to a friend this week, and as Rotarians, we like to have numbers. So we have a numerical goal for this for the year, 100 cards being sent out to friends, other Rotarians. And I know how many I got, so if you take one, that will be added to the count. Rotary trivia. This week it was an international question, and the question was on November 3rd, 1910, where was the first Rotary International Rotary Club held? Does anybody want to shout out the answer? One of our friends to the north. Canada is right. Anybody want to guess a province? No, Kevin. Manitoba. So that was in 1910, very shortly after the first meeting of that called Paris held in Chicago. So Rotary became international very, very quickly. Upcoming meeting next week, we have Annie Franceschi from Greatest Story Creative to talk about storytelling in your marketing strategies. It's been a fantastic meeting. She's going to bring some of her books that she's written on it. So please attend. Some great marketing strategies. There is no meeting on August 14th. Past President Charles Edwards started this trend just to help celebrate the beginning of the school year. It's going off to school, that's a busy week, so no meeting August 14th. Then we have local TV meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner coming to speak to us on August 21st. So that's gonna be a great meeting as well. And then new member Eric Sutherland on August 28th is going to speak about the state of senior care in North Carolina. So tons of great meetings coming up, wonderful speakers, definitely come out on Mondays. District events coming up. I mistakenly said last week that everybody and all Rotarians are welcome to the district council meeting. That is only for those on the district council. However, this event listed, the district fall assembly is coming up September 16th at 8 a.m. in Cary. And those are open to any Rotarian. It's a great way to go and learn more about the district, how the district set up, and Rotary national programs. So it would be great to see a lot of Raleigh Rotarians there. So please mark your calendars for the 16th. Okay, so Linda often gets a lot of questions about different committees, and here at Rotary Club of Raleigh, we have 8 different committees. And we're going to spend the next few weeks highlighting some of them and really encouraging people, if you're not in a committee, to get involved and get involved in the great events that we have going on. So Juicy, our fundraising chair, is going to come up this week and speak a little about fundraising and the great plans we have.
So to start out, we had our first board meeting of the year, earlier in July. Last year our goal was $10,000 of fundraising. This year we're going for $20,000. But we're going to crush that because we did $16,000 of fundraising last year just from our events. So super excited for that. And then our first event is going to be announced in about 2 to 3 weeks. But just for y'all to start planning out, we're looking at November, either the 2nd or 3rd week. Potentially Veterans Day will be preferred. And we're going to be partnering with John Cates at Cates Farm. And we're really excited, and everything else will be announced in 2 to 3 weeks. So thank you. And also I'm looking for a co-chair for fundraising committees. So people that are interested, Chase Green and Sam Leaf, looking at you too. Please, come up to me, let me know what you guys are thinking. If you have time to put something else on your plate, I would love to, have that. So thank you all, and let's raise the money.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah, we started a few years ago, having chairs, have vice chairs, and that's just in case something comes up at work, family, there's somebody kind of second in command, to keep things rolling in your absence. So vice chairs looking for one, fundraising to help with all those things we have. Nosy neighbor time. I think Tommy and Randy. I'm for you guys.
Indeed, glad to have you guys today. Thanks for being here. If you don't know Randy, well, in a few minutes, but when I came to Rotary, Randy was one of the first folks to stop and talk to me, welcome me, said hello, sat with me 1 week and everything. So I've always kind of felt like we had a kinship, and I'm glad to have him up here today. Hopefully you'll be one after he gets done. So I'm gonna trade spots and let him come talk. Come on up, Randy. First, tell us a little bit about work. What does work look like for you? What kind of line of work did you used to be in?
Well, I'm retired and actually looking to find a full-time job, so I can cut that in the schedule. I work in the cable, telecommunications, media business for 35 years. Yes, I'm the guy who used to put in effect raising the cable rates every year. That helped pay my pension, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, the cable business was a lot of fun. It was very interesting. I started in 1973. There wasn't a whole lot to it. many years, and I had opportunities, I got to hang out with Ted Turner, the town film festival. Got to, launch Roadrunner, which is the high speed internet service that you all know now. The money to launch was News 14 Carolina, which is now Spectrum One. We got to put a little lot in the company to get us moved up to this. We do that pretty quickly. Industry. I really had an exciting opportunity getting hired in the business. I got hired at an interview at the Holiday Inn in Melbourne, Florida, one Saturday, and 10 days later, I was the manager of care system of Raleigh Rotary in Maryland, Florida. I was 23 years old. What have I done? They used to have my baby. I said yes, so let's do it.
That's a ton of good odds. Randy, how about share with us a little bit about your family and any good family stories that you might have that you want to help us know about?
Well, probably the proudest thing I have is my father, who was a World War II veteran. And he was in Suda Bay in the Philippines, the Japanese surrender. And I was able to do some research and learn all about that both before and just after he passed away. He was a typical World War II veteran. He never talked about it. And his experience, he said, one time I was sitting at the dinner table on Saturday, I had two daughters and my wife and my mom and my dad. And my daughter's making some comment about religion and not sure about it, or whatever. Well, I believe they told about being on this submarine chaser and looking over the side, and there was a mine next to the submarine chaser, but it didn't blow. So he said, I believe that I was looked out for my father.
That's good. All right. So when you went into cable, that was the high speed world of cable. But I understand that prior to that, maybe you had some jobs that were not quite as notable. Can you tell us about that?
Well, before I graduated from the University of South Florida in Tampa, I worked for 2 summers for the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Anybody know what mosquito is? Well, think about working in orange groves in July and August in Florida and not getting a mosquito. I don't recall that I ever did. And I worked for 2 summers counting oranges. The job, we had a 4-person crew and a supervisor. And our job was the trees were pre-selected. We would go to the trees and we would count, measure the base of the trunk of the tree, and you map and give you a percentage count on the tree. And you turn in your count, you get it to your supervisor, you look at it, and one of the other guys in the crew then have to count behind you. So that's why I learned financial control and auditing, counting oranges and orange trees. And you want to get the count on the first one because you don't have to count that name tree.
I think it's fascinating that counting oranges involves a supervisor. That's all. But if you guys haven't had a chance to spend some time with Randy, get up with him. He's a wonderful fellow. It'll be time well spent. I hope you got to learn a little bit about him today. Randy, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Randy. He did mention he is past assistant district governor. If you have any Rotary questions to some of the guys we can see. All right, rental time, and I hear we have quite the rapid this week.
Yeah, we got this week. Raise your hand if you bought a ticket. Who's out there? Bunch of tickets. We've got $120 to give away today. Which I feel like it's a lot of money in my life. Hopefully it's a lot of money. So Jess, would you pick us the winner, please? Call it out real loud.
2176.
Who we got? Great job, brother.
Reginald, I think you were good luck this week, Scott. Hey, service report, Richard E. for there it is.
Afternoon, Rotarians. Tomorrow, August 1st, that means beginning of the new month, beginning of two new service projects. First is our street cleanup, Lions Park, August 19th, from 9 to noon. The link is out, and I want to thank our two Rotarians who signed up so far. We have them, leading by example, like kids. That's right. So, we look here every week and talk about these service projects. I thought I'd make it a little interesting. So, the Terry mentioned, we find some very unique items when we use pictures. So I thought, anyone who participates in this cleanup, and we're gonna find the most unique things. And we're gonna have President Terry, who you can't participate with us. You're gonna pick the most unique thing, and the winner of that item gets a $50 gift card from tobacco. Now that means you have to sign up, participate, and help dig out and find some unique things, and President Carey will choose the winner. Sorry, Nick. But yeah, it's a family-friendly event. We do a lot of impactful work, but again, 9 to 12, sign up, that's not a favor too. So I hope you can join us. Our second project starts tomorrow. And next to Sarah Reeves, this involves Dick's Park. It's a cultural workshop, and this involves your input on the direction of Dick's Park and where the direction your ideas and input and where they're going. It's a great resource in our city, and they need our input. And as you know, we have a long relationship with Dick's Park, and Sarah is our tether of this organization and that asked us to participate. So we can go online, here if you have questions. This runs tomorrow, the rest of the week. So please participate and represent right here. If you do, take a photo, we can put it online. So again, two exciting projects. We're to come on next week to talk about September. Please sign up for the 19th, put a gift card, and let's do some good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roger David. As we just discussed for fundraising, Juicy's looking for a vice chair of fundraising. Also, it would be fantastic if we could identify a vice chair for service projects. So those of you on the service project committee, if you want to be involved in that, please go see Richard and discuss more. Richard Watkins, I don't believe is here. He is our new generations chair. For those that know, are not Rotarians, Rotary has something called Rotary, which is aimed at young professionals, college students, and there's a Rotary Club at NC State. So last year we participated in NC State's block party and street festival called Acapalooza. We're going to do that again. Richard Watkins registered us over the weekend. That is going to be Saturday, August 26th. From 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Need a few Rotarians to volunteer at different portions throughout the day to go see the booth, meet people, tell them about Rotary. You'll see in the picture, past President Tom Hacker, Richard Watkins is in the right picture. Who's the young lady, Tom, and that is that a Rotary? Yeah, one of the NC State directors, and to the right of Richard Avery, to his right, is Raleigh Rotary Chancellor Woodson. So NC State has a great presence at our club, and I'm pretty sure Chancellor Woodson will swing by everybody for this coming year. So think about it, getting with Richard Watkins or I, and not for a great street festival. Next up, membership. And speaking of vice chairs, we have Vice Chair Jessica Cunningham of membership for today.
So yeah, I'm building comparison, he's on baby new. And we have a first reading for Dr. Matt person. And, also in your, LinkedIn, you can take the comments. Next week we have an induction for city. A blue badge for Jennifer Rodriguez. That you fulfilled all the requirements. Congratulations, Jennifer.
Morning, guys. My name is Dr. Matt Persons, and my private practice Liberty Chiropractic Institute is a new chiropractic. This is Northwest Raleigh. I think everybody can attest to the power and the state of. It's all about being there, especially in the business world and in kind of community. I have some former family members that were Presbyterians and chapters in Georgia and things like that. But understood that.
I just want to say something about Jennifer real quick. This blue badge is very, very well deserved. She is been a Rotary less than a year, right? And she's already earned her blue badge, which there's a checklist for new members to go to a board meeting, volunteer for service projects. Jennifer has gone above and beyond. She's here every week, helping with the AV equipment. She's already organizing, rotating a shift list of who's going to help. So she is a very well deserved, and I want to give her a round of applause. I think that's it. Membership wise, thank you so much, Jessica. Last week, raise your hand if you came to the service social last Wednesday, the 26th. We had it here at Tobacco Road. It was a great time, and you'll see some of the pictures, and interspersed in those pictures are some back to school little cartoons. Chase Breeden over there by Kirk, he's going to give us a report on the totals that we collected next week. So stand by. I said Rotary likes numbers, and we'll have some numbers for you next week. So I want to give a round of applause for that too, the collection and then everything up. And we have those monthly service socials. So mark your calendar or not mark it yet. Keep your ears open for service. Birthdays and anniversaries, none. It's a quiet week and Rotary. So with that, we get to introduce today's fantastic speaker. And as he makes his way up here, I'd like to read a little bit about Michael Bussell. Michael is the Associate Vice Provost for Global Education and Extension at NC State University. And he directs the North Carolina Global Training Initiative, or GTI, which he founded in 2006. He joined NC State University in 1996 after serving as the Associate Director of the International Center at UNC Chapel Hill. He began his career in international education at the University of Florida, where he worked as an English as a second language teacher, and before moving to North Carolina about 30 years ago, he worked in Japan, Boston, and Tennessee. Michael has traveled to more than 40 countries, 12 of which were for work, and has lived in 6 different U.S. states, but considers North Carolina to be the best place in the world to live, or raise a family, or start a venture. I think maybe you've told other people. So many people here. Michael and his wife, a therapist in North Raleigh, have 3 adult children, 1 serving in the Marines, 1 a paramedic in Wilmington, and the oldest finishing up a second graduate degree at Georgetown University after serving in 7 years in the Army. When he is not developing international programs at NC State or enjoying time with his family, he enjoys hiking, canoeing, studying foreign languages, and gardening. So please join me in welcoming Michael up to the podium.
Thank you, Gary. Hello, Gary. It's very nice to be here. I'm honored to be the second best group of community-minded people. You are people after my own heart. As Carrie said, I moved, I was working in Chapel Hill in the mid-90s. And NC State recruited me to come be the director of the national office. I have grown up with students and people from different countries, and sometimes how some people think that they can lump them as dogs or animals and be with people. Well, I love Americans, but I really have an affinity for people from different cultures. And that grew me to a career in international education. International education is all about crossing boundaries, crossing cultures, and bringing cultures together. And to me, that has always been one of the most important values and objectives that I think that I can have in life. I'm married to a therapist, and she does the same thing on an individual or family basis. And I'm interested in communities and mixing communities, people with diverse viewpoints, different experiences, different perspectives together and see what happens. Usually good things happen. And I love my job at NC State. I don't know if anybody loves the job more than I do. I get to meet with faculty and students and alumni and researchers, do all kinds of amazing things. And if you've not been to the NC State campus lately, spend some time out there, check out the whole library, and see what we're doing. Harry asked me to come share a few things that we're doing in the international arena. And it's hard to know where to start. I've been there 26 years now at NC State, and have at least 5 more years to go. And we're doing hundreds and hundreds of things. One of the most important things that I've heard my first year at NC State was from the regional vice president of General Electric, who graduated from NC State with an engineering degree. And he was over all of South American operations. And he spoke to a group of faculty and administrators at the university and said, I know you all produce good engineers and good scientists and good technicians, but what we need are people that I can send to Brasilia or Hong Kong or Abu Dhabi and who won't crash and burn. And I took that to heart. And since then, I have tried to develop programs and opportunities, high impact experiences for our students, as well as our faculty, to not only be good engineers, good scientists, but to be good communicators, to be understanding of people from other cultures. Because like it or not, we live in a global society. And not everybody will graduate from NC State and go overseas after they graduate. Not everybody gets to study abroad while they're a student. So how are they going to learn these things, these skills, which should be taught, it's not right, on how to be successful in understanding people from different cultures, different religions, different philosophies, different political persuasions. And it's actually not that hard if you learn to do it. Unfortunately, many parents today grew up in broken homes, or grew up in dysfunctional families, and weren't able to pass on those lessons to their children. So when the students come into the university, I think it is our challenge to help them learn how to be successful. That's one reason why we have so many international students at the university. We have 36,000 students at NC State University. And almost 4,000 of them are from 120 different countries around the world. So we have students from Iran, we have students from China, from India, from Argentina, from all over the place. And they come to NC State to study. And their stories are worth listening to. They sacrificed, their parents sacrificed to send them here. And they contribute a lot to our classrooms, to our research programs, to our students, to the state of North Carolina. Did you know that a very large percentage of the grants that the university gets the copyrights, the patents, the new startup companies are actually the result of international students and international faculty in NC State. So they bring a lot of innovation and creativity and different perspectives to us. We have about 20% of our students study abroad. And for an engineering and technical school, that's a pretty good percentage actually. How do the other 80% learn these critical skills, how to work with people who won't look like them, who don't think like them, who don't make decisions the same way, who don't respond to authority or time? Well, we decided that we need to develop some programs to provide high impact experience for our own students who might not be able to study abroad, but they're going to be sharing the lab space, sharing the classroom with people all around the world. And when they graduate, they will probably be working with people from different cultures. And I've come to believe that a lot of our problems today, and we hear a lot about it in the news, and I was talking with some of you before lunch. You know, life is hard, life is difficult, and we want to be successful. And in many public spheres, we are not very successful. Why do businesses fail? Well, it's not always a bad business plan. You know, there's usually a human element to it. Why do many marriages and families fail? Well, it's not that there was no love or there was no commitment or concern, but you know, we have a lot of ineffective patterns or habits and assumptions that we will employ in all aspects of life. And I get to focus on the cross-cultural aspects. And I kind of believe that it is the solution to a lot of the problems that we are having today in families, in our politics, in religious discourse, in business. How do we sit and listen? How do we ask questions? How do we not rush to judgment or make assumptions that run our discussions into the ground? So anyway, I see my job as a bridge builder, and I build bridges for our students and our faculty to engage with the world. So we do have several hundred partners, clients in other countries. We have thousands of alumni in different countries, and I have the privilege of traveling to many of these countries. But my job is to connect our overseas partners and clients, friends, alumni with NC State and with North Carolina. So we intersect with the business sector, we intersect with nonprofits, with community organizations, because as the state medical branch university, we have a special responsibility to help move the whole state forward. So if you need agricultural expertise, or governance training, or technological solutions to manufacturing or whatever your job is, that's what we're about. And I get to play in the international realm. So I've got a few slides. And as a technological university, we are playing around with virtual reality and artificial intelligence. So actually, this slide is put together with help of AI. So don't be afraid. I don't think it's going to explode or anything, but it's amazing how we can use technology to scale up and make a lot of our educational and research and extension teaching programs sustainable. And I'll give you a couple of examples of how we do that. If I do the right button down, it works. So, thank you, Gary. Diplomacy. Rotarians are diplomats. You know, what is a diplomat? A diplomat is someone who is an individual or a nation or group that tries to work with people from other nations, other countries, to have your needs met. So you create win-win situations in a peaceful way, in a sustainable way. And some of you know that the State Department or the United States government is our main diplomatic corps. But we all realize that we're all diplomats in our own way in our own sphere of influence, and our students are going to be diplomats. And we want them to be excellent at communication, at leadership, entrepreneurship, critical thinking, flexible thinking, and cross-culturally sensitive and skilled as well. They will be doing jobs that they don't understand or can't even imagine right now. I changed my career several times. I was an architect or an architecture student. Look at me now. So we need to give our students the skills to survive and to succeed in whatever they might be. And becoming cross-culturally competent will help them in every area of life. So this is the latest statistics for this last year. We are anticipating 4,200 international students this fall, and we want them to be successful here. Because whether they stay after graduation and create jobs and create wealth and start companies, pay taxes, and contribute to our local society, or whether they go home to their home and take what they've learned, not just in the technical career, but something about American civilization and culture, the good things in our culture, where we are community minded, where you can start over, where freedom is worth fighting for. And we've seen in many other countries where former international students return home and have been societal change makers in their own country. So remember the Arab Spring years ago? Well, a lot of that was because a lot of students had studied in the West, and they decided they like that better than the autocratic governments that they were subjected to. So we're helping them become diplomats, and we are diplomats as well. So this year, in 2023, that number of students going abroad will double. So we want each of our students to study abroad, research abroad, internship abroad, or if they can't go abroad, do something here with the tremendous wealth of resources of internationals that are here, Raleigh and on our campus. So we have devoted a lot of our effort into global skills training. And as Carrie mentioned, very kind introduction. I came to the Director of the International Office. I am not a compliance guy. I don't like immigration. I don't like visas. I don't like sending students home if they make a mistake or illegally. So I started this global training initiative. And you'll be happy to know, as taxpayers in North Carolina, that none of your taxpayers support my office. I've created, it's a startup within the university, and the strange business model. But we have 12 full-time employees, and their salaries, their benefits, our rent, our programmatic expenses do not come from the university, do not come from the state, they do not come from me. We are completely self-funded. Apply for grants, I charge clients for services, and get some receipts for different things that we do. So we're practicing what we preach, and bringing in millions of dollars to the state and millions of dollars to the university at no cost to you all. So that's why I'm glad the chancellor is not here today. He and I traveled together. He's a wonderful chancellor, but he doesn't want this secret to get out. Otherwise, the legislature, you look at the legislators with me, might realize we can do something for nothing and not leave a lot of money for the state. Anyway, global skills training will help students get along with other students, but will also help them understand their instructors, and our instructors will understand their students. Because our classes and our labs and our service sectors have lots of different cultures. We have committed to training future leaders and our current leaders in cross-cultural skills. And I don't have time today to go into a lot of depth of how we do that. But there are an example from a student that we actually took to Saudi Arabia. It's kind of like a study abroad program, but there's a might go to South Carolina, let's go to Saudi Arabia. So these are short video clip you can hear her perspective of what she's been learning about cross-cultural competency throughout our program.
To try not to create like a judgment or a certain like view of other like people and places that we've never even been to before, because with places like Saudi Arabia, like for the trip, what I thought was ways on both, like, but something. To try not to create like a judgment or a certain like view of other like people and places that we've never even been to before, because with places like Saudi Arabia, like for the trip, what I thought was ways on both, but it's not we but the new up negative than like what the people in that country actually like, and so to try and get like, actually. We need people from that country and even.
So we're having some bandwidth issues.
Your mic should work.
Not to fear. We have this on our website if you're interested in it. It's a great 2-minute little video of some student testimonials of going to Saudi Arabia. The parents were very inspired about them going to Saudi Arabia. This was just in December. But they highlighted some of the things that they've learned in our program on cross-cultural competency. So we have a number of YouTube videos up on the website if you're interested in reading that, but we'll move on to the next one to save time. So we went out and realized there is no good curriculum for teachers to students. So we compiled and aggregated some of the best stuff that was out there, different curriculum, put it together, and for years now, student groups helping faculty embed this in their curriculum. But we also started to work with companies. So we worked with about 30 companies in the area of the Department of Agriculture, the Raleigh Chamber of Commerce, Town of Morrisville, MetLife. I can go on to companies are coming to us saying, we've got groups of employees and diverse work teams that aren't performing the way they should be. Can you come in and help us understand a little better? And for a cross-cultural approach, it's very different than an EEI approach, different than the old-fashioned international communications approach. But we can go in and we can do inventories of individual personalities and how do you relate to other people. We can also do culture to culture. So Citrix wanted to open up a whole new office in France. We wanted to do a marketing campaign in France. So they came to us and said, what do we need to know about French culture that's different than US culture? One of our other programs is taking care of the Scheme International Business School. We host 500 business students from France every semester. So we gave them a training, we brought some French business students with us, and they were able to help them create a customized marketing plan to enter into the French market. All right. So in addition to helping our students, our faculty, our teams, and organizations, companies, and agencies in North Carolina, we also are branding North Carolina. We're branding at NC State University, and we are helping businesses in North Carolina and communities in North Carolina by working with groups in other countries, 30 different countries, working with government employees, working with university faculty, working with community colleges. And these are some pictures of what we've done the last year or two with teacher groups in Azerbaijan, Colombia, Egypt. In Azerbaijan, That whole group there, 500 people came to the conference, and they're all giving a wolf sign. So they found out about NC State in North Carolina. And guess what? They had a great program from NC State. They wanted to know. In the first picture, there was 45 teachers in Argentina. We did a hybrid program for them. 2 of them by NC State. They were admitted for offering them full scholarships. And now their companies, their schools, Ministry of Education, our brand, we did 6 programs this year. With government agencies, universities, we brought student groups here, and we are sending instructors to come there. People are hearing about North Carolina and different about NC State in ways that they never have been before. So entrepreneurship is not just a buzzword at NC State. We are focusing on global entrepreneurship. How does entrepreneurship look like in different countries, different cultures? What works here in Raleigh may not work in Uzbekistan or in Madrid. So we work with our faculty, partners with our faculty, and provide entrepreneurship programs for overseas partners and friends. And then they help inform us on how we can be better entrepreneurs as well. This is a picture of your fellow Rotary Chancellor in Europe. We have a European Center in Prague. If you ever been to the Czech Republic, it's right off the main square. It's a big NC State flag out there. And it is bursting at the seams. So we are sending hundreds of our students to spend a summer, a semester, or a couple of weeks taking classes in Europe. And we're also making an impact there work with Czech universities, the Czech Society, and Brandon, North Carolina as well. We partner with other organizations in North Carolina. We work with Go Global NC, we've done several study tours, taking elected officials, CEOs, and academics to Germany to study workforce development. We took a group to Mexico to look at law enforcement, how they do law enforcement in Mexico. And this was for our law enforcement officers. And then we also took a group to Singapore and Japan for farming. So we did farm CEOs and legislators, because our legislators and our business community and our academic community do not always see eye to eye. We understand one another's perspectives, challenges, and problems. So we're working with community colleges as well, and provide cross-cultural conference programs to the public as well. We've got a governor's crime commission grant to do law enforcement, helping law enforcement officers throughout North Carolina understand the Latino Hispanic community in North Carolina. So if they make a traffic stop and there's people speaking Spanish inside the truck, you know, there are things that you can do, and things that you should not do. Yeah, we work with Morrisville, by training on Indian culture. Indians in Morrisville, and the town council came to us and said, help our utilities people and our commissioners understand, you know, how to effective with our Indian residents. They would have a utilities person go up and need what's at home, and not open the door. And have this utilities person come in and say, you don't do that in many other cultures. And it was a problem, and we were able to help them understand how cultural differences exist and what they can do about them. Something that some of you may be interested in for many of our students. Imagine if a student from China came here for 2 years, got a master's degree, didn't make any American friends, and went home. And all they saw was the news, and all Chinese news and US news. But imagine if they had a relationship with somebody who spent time with them, who met with them once a month, who took interest in them, who counseled, advised, and mentored them. So we have a mentoring program where we have current and retired CEOs, business executive leaders who meet with not just anybody, but students who are hungry to understand US culture, business culture, students who want to practice their English, but students who maybe didn't even have a father figure or mother figure, to invest in them, keys to success. And we have, I'm afraid to have another video. We can try. But we have a short testimonial.
I think he was the first time. We found that, we worked together and then it was going to be a good team. Never meet these many American people and speak this much English and also have this many friends without this management program. But I think you never stop learning and growing together. And when being around young people, very good, smart, what can be wrong with that? I think it's that little bit of push and encouragement that sometimes we all need, and it worked.
Really have a big family, so I have a big family here. That's wonderful, great. Brandon knows everything. He looks like my American father, and he's Chinese son. Yeah.
First, because how important people are, I realize that this is very happy. For me, language, customs, and learning about how to learn the person. See. So.
So many of our early students were Chinese, but now we have a lot of French students who are looking for mentors. But imagine Jack or when we're going back to China, and then China and US are 5 years, 8 years. The more Chinese nationals who spent time in the United States and have significant relationships with people that they consider family, that is going to impact, the future political decisions and the support that people have for the government. So we are ambassadors, we are diplomats, and we have the opportunity to be diplomats as well. And this is actually pointing on our website. And I get click on the left hand side. Move to the next one. That's it. So if people are not interested in being a monthly mentor, we also have a single event with thousands of students coming in from all around the world. We do look for community volunteers with their homes for like Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, birthday dinner, and invite someone. If I've done that for years, my children love international because I was always bringing students all around the world, and they remember a lot of meetings about Indonesia, about China, about Brazil. So if you're interested, we have a sign up on our website, and those are just a few examples of some of the programs that we are doing, have been doing. There are 30 to 40 more. If you're interested, I'd be happy to talk with you one-on-one. You can check out our website. But we are committed to making sure every student at the university has an opportunity to engage internationally somehow and to improve their cross-cultural skills. And not only students, but faculty, our researchers, and the community at large. I can't think of anything that will help our communities get stronger and healthier and more positive than if everybody took this view. So I don't usually say, do what I do, it's like me, but I have no doubt that we are onto something here because we see families being changed, lives being changed, diverse teams becoming more effective. And that's really exciting. And I welcome you to consider joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. What you guys do at GTI is very, very Rotarian, like you said. Before you, Michael was kind enough to come talk to us right after we got back from family vacation yesterday, and as we all know, coming back from vacation, there are lots of meetings. So this is our Rotary month, which you can put coffee in this afternoon, and it has our 4-way test on it. So thank you so much. Michael said he'll stick around afterwards for a few questions if you all want to go chat with him. So wonderful. Before we leave, wanted to have one more membership thing. At first reading, thank you, Matt, Dr. Persons. And we also have another name up on the slide, Nathan Thomas, past district governor, is looking to transfer to our club. So he will be here next week, but his name was up there. We got his application over the weekend. So fantastic news. Can't wait to have them be part of our club. So Rotarians, friends, guests, we all rise and join me in the 4-way test. And the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Meeting is adjourned.